Hail and malicious adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. Today I will show you my new build for Warlock with a great old one subclass. So without further ado, let's go. You can use this build on wheel when you're playing your playthrough, so you can use it on your origin character companion, or maybe you're playing wheel yourself. But just for fun and cool looking race, I will create Tiefling. They just so demonic. And I will explain why you not should play Tiefling in the process. So let's go. Okay, this build will be for Warlock with the great old one subclass. For our race of choice today I picked Tiefling, Mephistopheles Tiefling, which will get us additional fun cantrips. But exactly for this build, best race will be any race that give you proficiency in medium armor. So just keep this in mind. That's like not like best race to pick for this class, but look at him, he just looks amazing. He's just great old one Warlock, strong guy. So let's talk about build. For cantrips we start with Eldritch Blast and Minor Illusion. We can't go wrong with these two picks. Eldritch Blast is just best cantrip in the game, with force damage, least resistant damage in the game. Why not? Great old one gives us additional class future. When we critical hit against creature, that creature and any nearby enemies must succeed wisdom saving throw or become frightened. So until the end of the next turn. Cool future, fun one, but when we advance in the levels it will become more cooler than this. As Warlock we can pick 2 spells from level 1, and as always we pick an Armor of Agathos and Hex. Very nice picks for this type of character. So background, Soldier. We will be front lane Warlock. We won't be like standing behind using Eldritch Blast. We will be front lane guy who go and attack his enemies as a great old one. That's why we need this athletics and intimidation stuff going on. And let's talk about abilities. So we got pretty balanced character without any minuses to our skills. For your proficiency you can pick whatever you like. You can go plus into deception with these picks, so you get +5 in deception, and any of your choice. Maybe you like investigation, maybe history, whatever. So skills, we got pretty balanced character, we don't need any strength, so we just dump it. Dexterity 14, and this will be good for your medium armor if you get this proficiency. And yeah, you can basically subclass, of course multiclass when you're leveling up, but this is like pure build without any multiclassing. Constitution 16, we need more hit points when we're standing in the front, so we don't want to die. Constitution nice to have. And yeah, of course it's keeping our concentration on different spells. That's nice too. Intelligence Wisdom 10, so we don't have any penalties to saving throws. And Charisma, we get it to 16. It's our primary ability, our main spell casting ability, and our main damage ability, so we need it. Let's go into the game. And as always, let's level up a little bit. So, level 2, our spells of choice. For now, we don't care too much, we can pick some spells like Arms of Hader just to be able to disengage sometime. Still, we're not this frontline guy, and at first levels you will play like normal, a long-range Warlock with Eldritch invocations like Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast. This will add Charisma modifier to your Eldritch Blast cantrip, and you will be able to push enemies 4.5 meters away from you with Eldritch Blast. Level 3, that's where we get this cool future. That's where we get this Pact boon. And for today we're picking Pact of the Blade. That's cool Pact, and basically what it's doing, we get an ability to summon Pact weapon or bind current weapon that we are having in our hands right now. This weapon will use our spellcasting ability modifier, Charisma, instead of strength or dexterity. That's why we don't need a lot of strength, a lot of dexterity, and we get an additional spells. So for our spell of choice, we're picking Hold Person. And just like that, let's go and I show you this in the game. And yeah, this dude got his Burning Hands spell from his Tiefling background. So you want to summon your Pact weapon basically and get this great weapon. If you want more damage, go with Great Sword, you can't go wrong with this item. If you got proficiency with shields, you can go with Rapier in one hand and shield in other hand. Same goes with Warhammer. Or just go with the Glaive, one of my favorite, very cool weapon. So why is Glaive cool? First of all, it got some additional range. As you can see, the circle got additional range. What we want to do in the combat? First of all, we want to use our bonus section. It will be Hex as always, and we basically hexing our opponent, and when we're doing damage to him with attack rolls, we will inflict additional damage to this enemy. So what we want to do before the battle actually starts is actually cast on yourself Armor of Agathos. That's a nice spell, and whenever enemies will attack you, they will get some damage back on them. That's like cool spell. It will give you additional bonus hit points. That's cool one. So why we picking this glaive actually? Because it got cool future, and I will show you this on next turn. So if you engage in a fight with enemy, you want to have advantage on attacks to make more attacks possible. And this weapon gives you this feature. So you have this 6 meter movement speed sacrificial. Your normal movement speed is like 9 meters, so you sacrifice 6 meters from this movement speed, and you're using basically movement speed, not action, not bonus action, so just like that. And now, while you're not having advantage on attack roll, you have advantage on damage roll, so you will inflict most possible damage with the spear. And it's nice ability to have in a fight, and we will have ability to get advantage in other ways later in the game, but for now don't forget you have this reapply hex action, so you can use bonus action. And you won't use any spell slots. So if you press it on this hex, you will lose your spell slot and you will have no spells for the rest of the battle. But if you use this reapply hex, you won't use spell slot. So just like that, you reapplied hex and we can attack our enemy and roll more damage than we will roll otherwise. So we get this reroll and we can check out. So first damage we rolled was 4, we just changed it and rerolled to 10. Just like that, we inflicted 13 damage instead of 7. And that's like basically our damage is doubled in this turn. That's like cool stuff. So if you can't reach your enemy, you always can do your Eldritch Blast, and yet don't forget you're pushing enemies away. So again, reapply hex on your enemy and just use your cantrip Eldritch Blast, and this will push enemy away, inflict additional damage from the hex, and possibly they will go into this hole. So let's level up and I show you finished build. So cantrips, we don't care, pick whatever you like. New spells, level 2. So depending on what your race affording you, nice pick will be a Misty Step if you don't have it in other ways. Maybe you got race with Misty Step, like Githyanki. Githyanki gets this proficiency in medium armor, they got Misty Step, so you can pick whatever you like, but that's a nice pick for our class. And at level 4 you can pick your feat. So smart choice will be just go into ability improvement and getting this charisma modifier, but we don't want it right now. We want our sentinel feat first. So sentinel will make you attack when someone attacking nearby allies, and basically it will increase your damage output when you're not attacking, and that's like cool feat for this dude. A level 5 is very cool level. We get in this Eldritch Invocation, one more, and we pick in Devil's Sight to get this vision in magical and non-magical darkness for 24 meters. That's again one more stuff that you need to consider when you pick in your race. You can pick race without this dark vision and you will get it from this dude. As for Tiefling, we won't be able to use this Legacy of Kenya Flame Blade because it's only for 10 turns, and for spells we unlock in level 3 spells. Cool spells that we can use is Hunger of Hader, it's just zoning tool that we will concentrate on. Very cool stuff. Or you can go with Fly, so you can fly around the battlefield. Very cool stuff too. So again, I picked Tiefling mostly for cool looking in this build, and I recommend races with medium armor proficiency. Because we won't be able, as you see, use this awesome Legacy of Kenya Flame Blade for 10 turns. Because it's only for 10 turns and we need to use our packed weapon, and this will require your action, so that's just like stuff to consider and not follow with the race choice of this build. But again, in my opinion, races don't matter too much. For this build you would like to get this armor proficiency, but you can totally feel fine in light armor too. It's just okay. So level 6 we get an additional spells, you can pick again whatever you like, we don't care about this level too much. Level 7 gets us additional spells, and now from level 4. So cool stuff on level 4 that you can use, and you can use even before. I just forgot to mention it, Darkness. Darkness is really great spell, and I will show you just in a second why. Because we get this Devil's Sight invocation, so we can see through magical darkness, and that means we can cast darkness, see everything, and enemies will have hard time to see us. Other invocations, pick whatever you like, it doesn't matter too much. Let's go next, level 8, and on level 8 we get in more spells, so you can pick again whatever you like. We got everything we need right now, and I recommend sticking mostly with some spells that don't require you too much concentration, because your best and your like bread and butter spells will be concentration spells that hold enemies. we get additional feats. So right now we can go into proof ability improvement to get more damage, hit chance, other stuff like this. Another cool stuff you can pick right now is Pole Arm Master to get these opportunity attacks, and Sentinel gives you advantage on opportunity attacks. This means you will be more likely to hit these Pole Arm Master attacks. But going into Charisma is just as nice. We continue our build to Warlock level 9 and we get in more spells, and now we're getting Hold Monster spell, finally. So we already got the spell Hold Person, but it can be casted only on humanoids, while Hold Monster can be casted on any creature you see. 4 Eldritch invocations on this level. Good ones. Minions of Chaos. You can just summon elemental to fight alongside you. That's cool stuff if you like elementals. And it's like most strongest pick you can do, because you don't need any concentration on this stuff. You just basically summon one dude who will fight alongside your party. But I enjoy playing without summons on this play style, because we are like big, great old one with the glaive. So I don't know, you need to roleplay sometime, not just pick like best spells. So, Otherworldly Leap, pretty fun stuff, you just can cast it anytime you need it in exploration when you want to jump higher. We continue our journey to level 10. Level 10 unlocks new class feature, subclass feature. And yeah, I just forgot to mention this subclass feature. On level 6, yeah, you get this awesome stuff, I totally forgot, but I will show you this in a minute. More reasonable to show it than tell. So, about spells, pick whatever you like. Dominate person if you like dominating. Telekinesis, sometimes it's cool spell too. You will concentrate and throw peoples over and over again. And we go into level 11. Level 11, we gain in Mystic Arcanum. That's our Mystic Arcanum. That's our patron. He's given us spells to choose from, and it's level 6 spells. Again, if you go in with some summon party, go with Create Undead. If you want some cool, good spells to inflict damage, go with Circle of Dash, just nice pick. So for spells, again, pick whatever you like. It's good to pick high level spells as Warlock, because you're limited with spell slots anyway. That's why you don't need to pick lower level spells. You will totally be fine with other spells. And nice spell to choose from is Vampiric Touch. Again, you can pick it just before. I'm just telling you good picks that you can do on each level. Most of the time you won't care too much about the spells, you got already everything you need, but Vampiric Touch is a nice thing to consider. So let's go and get to the next level. It's last level, level 12, and we're getting more spells. Most importantly, we're getting additional feat. Okay, spells we don't care right now, really we don't care. And for Eldritch Invocation, I recommend picking Life Drinker finally. So our melee attacks deal additional damage equal to our Charisma modifier. That's cool feature, and that's why we're going and maxing out our Charisma. And yeah, Pole Master still will work, so pick whatever you like from these 2 feats. And just like that, our build is finished, so we got cool and a lot of options right now. But again, most stuff that we need is already in our hands. So what do we have from this entropic word? Whenever someone attacks us, we can impose disadvantage on this attack roll. This dude will basically most probably miss us. And if attack misses, you gain advantage on next attack roll against this attacker. So that's like craziest feature. And if you do it, you gain in this advantage all the time on your attacks, and you gain in this brace from your spear weapon, from your glaive, and you're inflicting loads of damage every turn. So as max level Warlock, you get these 3 slots of level 5. That's cool, you can cast 3 spells in one battle right now instead of 2. So let's wake up these dudes. Guys, wake up. How are you today? And what you can do in the battle. Basically, first of all, you can just go and put enemies into magical darkness. You will see them, they won't see you, and just come nearby to them. They will have disadvantage on attacks anyway, you will have advantage. And don't forget, this is concentration spell, so if you still want to use your Hex, this will cancel this stuff, and same vice versa. When you cast in this darkness, you won't be able to use reapply Hex or Hex without destroying this darkness. So if you want to go and use an armed attack, he misses. Then this dude try to attack our friend, and we get this Sentinel feat, so we can go and attack him with Sentinel feat, and just like that we get this free attack on our off turn, and we get advantage in the darkness against these targets, and we can easily destroy this dude. Other things that we can do is basically use Hold Person on this friend, and if he will be hold, it will be very cool stuff. That's again concentration spell, so we need to concentrate on this stuff. But while we're concentrating, don't forget, we're playing as a great old one, and whenever we crit enemy, all enemies around will be frightened most of the time. And when someone holds it like this, we attack, and this always will be critical strike. And when you're doing critical strike, you're rolling more damage dices. And while you stand nearby, you don't need to go for too much distance. You can use this brace with this glaive, and just like that, your glaive doing 1d10 plus 5 slashing damage, plus 5 from your charisma. Additionally, you're doing more damage from your charisma because you get this charisma modifier, necrotic damage from Life Drinker. And you will inflict critical strike to this dude, rolling a lot of dice. Just look at that. OMG. So, what's we doing? We're rolling 2d10 out damage, and we're rolling them to inflict maximum damage possible. So as you can see, we rolled for 10 damage instead of just 5. Again, we doubled damage with this reroll. We get plus 5 from our charisma modifier, and we add plus 5 necrotic damage from Life Drinker. So good race to pick for this class. Will be half orc to increase our critical strikes, because all our playstyle will be around this stuff. So you just want to cast Armor of Agatus on yourself. You get this 25 additional hit points, so you go use your short rest, so you recharge your spell slots. And just like that, you go into the battle with your awesome weapon. So stuff that you can do in the battle will give you edge on enemies. Basically, of course, you can just go and attack your enemies. That's still an option. And you can do 2 attacks in one turn because you got this packed weapon. Then, of course, you can use your Misty Step as a bonus action to teleport nearby enemies, so they can't run away from you. That's like great feat to have. And if you're using Pole Arm Master, you will teleport into some areas that you want to protect from enemies trespassing. So just like that, every turn you basically can attack enemies, use your Misty Step, teleport to other enemies and attack them. Just like that. If they try to attack you, you will impose disadvantage on attacks. I will show you just in a second this stuff. And whenever enemies attack your allies, you can use this Sentinel to inflict additional damage. That's cool stuff to have, of course. So Sentinel is basically your free attacks. Cool stuff that you can do is use your Vampiric Touch. You will have this upcasted up to level 5 until you will inflict 5d6 damage from necrotic damage, but you need to succeed on attack roll against enemies. So succeeding on attack roll is hard against enemies that got high AC. And you need to have this advantage. That's where this build comes into play. So you want to wait until enemy will attack you, and you will have advantage on attack roll against him, and you will probably cast this stuff. Then you will have concentration on this spell, and you can do it other way. You can just cast Darkness on one turn, and then basically use your Vampiric Touch on another turn. This will be 2 spells. So there's a version how you can do it. You just cast this Darkness. If they try to run away, you will basically attack them, so that's not a great idea, because if they try to attack your allies, you can use Sentinel. This will lock them in one place too. So now we get advantage in the dark, and we can basically use this Vampiric Touch with advantage and possibly hit this dude with this critical hit. OMG. So now we get, instead of our reapply hex, this Vampiric Touch, and what we're doing, we're dealing necrotic damage to our enemies, and we're gaining half as many hit points with this stuff. While still having Armor of Agatus on ourselves, we have this crazy, big, tanky guy who can drink life from you, inflict loads of damage, and do it on every turn, even when he is not attacking. So that's crazy stuff. You can basically attack with Sentinel, with your weapon, and then attack with necrotic, this recast Vampiric Touch on other. And yeah, of course, bread and butter hold monster. So basically, if you succeed on this hold monster, and this uses wisdom saving throws, that's why you want to have higher charisma, because it's spell difficulty class, which affected by charisma. So we get this plus 5 from charisma. And if we succeed on this stuff, he will be holded just like that. Every attack against him will be critical strike. And while you can attack with your weapon to inflict critical strike, don't forget, critical strikes can be inflicted with any type of attack roll spells. So again, against this dude, you want to sacrifice your movement speed with the spear and then attack him with the spear. But if you got some cool spells, most of the time your allies got cool spells, just come nearby and cast the spells. So spells like Vampiric Touch will inflict critical strike to this dude, but we are now concentrating on these hold monsters. That's why we don't want to use any concentration spells, and we basically want to attack this dude for really crazy attack. And as always, you can do it 2 times in one turn because you're using your packed weapon, and that's the coolest part. So I hope you enjoy this great old one build, and you will have a lot of fun by playing this on your walkthrough. Other cool videos is on the screen right now. And see you in the next videos, guys.